Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors, and everybody in between. It's Thursday night.
And it is about something. That's Jim Libby.
That's Michael Smolik.
And we promise to do our best to make it about something tonight.
Absolutely. And before we get started...
Slurpy, slurpy.
Slurpy, slurpies. Okay, man.
It's been that kind of day.
It has been that kind of day. Everybody out there in Isbaz land, get your drinks so that we can all drink at the same time, so that nobody has to hear.
1, 2, 3.
Slurp, slurp.
Ah.
Whoo-wee.
So, do you want to recap what you've been up to the past week?
Oh, dude. What haven't we been up to the last week?
Yeah.
Michael and I have been working hours and hours and hours and hours and hours trying to get...
How many hours was that?
There was several of them.
It was several of hours and hours.
It was all of our hours. And we have been trying to get the English Lover Show, Pitch Me, I'm Streaming, up into the interwebs.
Damn, I think we did a pretty sweet job of getting that show on.
And we totally did it. And it is up and running. And
in
it's
fact,
wonderful.
Some of you guys have already been to the show.
Oh yeah? Like who's here? Andrew's here, Marcus is here, how you guys? View Through Trees, hello.
Nice to see you again.
Pavlov's dog in the house.
So, Pavlov was in the show.
Was she?
Yeah.
Nice.
And...
Moko in the house, Faye's in the house.
Faye's in the house.
Kathy Tanner has been killing it. Hello, Kathy.
Kathy Tanner was a small blue cephalopod with 3 tentacles.
And last night she was the Princess of Schmolakia.
And it was called Spolakia.
It was Schmolakia, Molakia, Spolakia.
Depending on which region of the country you were from. It was situated between Liechtenstein and Luxembourg.
Yeah. And what do we got? Marcus in the house. Vera. Hello, Vera. I don't know. Have we seen Vera before?
No, I think this is Vera's first time. Well, Vera, nice to see you.
Hello, Vera. And Andrea. And Verena. Everybody wave to Verena.
Verena,
wave to the screen. Very good. Donna in the house.
Hey, Donna.
Excellent. Now, what is this? Is Jim growing a beard? Yeah.
He's trying. He's trying.
Yeah.
It's an attempt.
The hairless wonder.
It's an attempt at a beard.
Because we were working all these hours and hours, and it was just like, get up in the morning, go and do the thing, come home, go to sleep, get up in the morning, go and do the thing, go home, go to sleep.
No shaving, no shit.
And then came the premiere, and I was like, you know what? I guess I'm just going to leave it for the whole thing.
He's going to be Irish for this whole show.
And I'm excited to go to Schick, because it's been a long time.
You've got to get a shave at Schick.
Well, I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to go to Schick because it's been a long time since I've had a beard. And so I want to go to the barber and have him like do something to it. I don't know, comb it out, trim it up, do the thing, make it nice.
Make it match your eyebrows.
Yeah,
They
man.
can do that at Schick.
Yeah, man. And then when the show is over, schling, get rid of it.
Oh, right. What are you saying, Vera? Are you always late to the party? Is that what you're saying?
Well, as long as you make it, that's all we care about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've been
Up until this point, actually, this show's been shit. It starts getting better as of now that you've joined. Yeah.
So we've been working on Pitch Me on Streaming, and we got it going. And I think the only thing that Pitch Me on Streaming is missing is people to watch it.
This is true.
And I have to admit, I don't know because...
Well, I was talking to the Drachengasse about this, and I mean, it's an online streaming show, so it's not like you sell 100 tickets the way you sell them for a live show, right? Or you sell 80 tickets for the Christmas show kind of thing. Or 85 is like the max we can sell there. And the spring show has always been in the small room, and that's always like 45 to 50 tickets.
Yeah.
And considering that we're now doing a spring show online, I don't think we're actually selling that bad. Sure, I mean, I'd love to sell more tickets.
That we're not selling too bad, I will never, ever disagree with. I think what I want to get to, though, is the fact that, we have learned a lot on how to do things technically and how to do things not only with our art, but with setting up ways. We have had to create an entire theater inside
You mean
the Theater
a TV
Drachengasse.
studio inside the theater?
Yeah.
Oh, like we have a TV studio and a theater inside the Drachengasse.
Inside the theater. And
So much work.
it's crazy.
It sounds like double the work.
And what we haven't gotten to is how to become a marketing specialist. So I want to throw this out there. If there is anybody out there who knows how we can get the word out for people to see Pitch Me I'm streaming, it's a really fun experience. And I mean, I used to say about the theater, which is very different from the internet, but about the theater, you know, I used to say, if I knew how to get audiences to come to a show, we would be having this conversation on my yacht.
And now we're having it on his dick.
Yep. So anyway, throwing it out there.
Yeah. I really like the show because the thing about having a really good recording of your show is, like previously, if we ever had a recording of our show, we'd watch it and it'd be like, cringeworthy. Because the audio was bad, the video was bad, and it was just like somebody was holding a camera at the stage. But now we have live editing, we have close-ups, we have good audio and all this stuff. And it actually makes watching the show afterwards, like when you get home, you can watch your own show. And I found the shows entertaining.
Absolutely.
Like watching myself do the show, I find it entertaining, right?
Absolutely. You know, it's weird because we were talking about this the other night that before the internet, or before the internet as we now know it, if you saw something like Saturday Night Live or even an episode of your favorite sitcom and you were telling somebody about it around the water cooler, you kind of had to be like, oh, well, you had to see it. Nowadays, you can see it. You can just pull it up on your phone.
Yeah.
And part of my impro soul
Oh, you mean that it's lost to the ether?
is that I like the fact when
I've
it's
never
lost
liked
to
that.
the ether.
No, I've never liked that.
Yeah. And now we have created this theater piece that uses film techniques, and we've tried to meld a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and hopefully we haven't gotten just the worst parts of each. But putting it together is a really weird, big thing for theater artists. And I tell you right now,
Have
it's
we
never
ever-
going away.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
all the
It's
theaters are
definitely
going to
interesting.
have to invest in finding ways to be able to do this and to find ways to create that urgency and that immediacy that live theater can have. It will never replace it, but to find ways to do it, because this is never going away. That should have been an Uncle Jim's
You
2
just
cents.
you just said we're theatre artists, but is that actually true? Like a lot of the stuff that we do is theatre oriented, but I have never thought of myself as an exclusively theatre artist.
Well-
I've thought of myself as somebody who dabbles in several media.
Sure.
And up until maybe 2-3 years ago, I didn't have the cash to invest in the tech stuff that you need, and it wasn't as cheap as it is now.
Absolutely. I mean, with video cameras and that the age of digital medium, it was like the reinvention
We
of the
got a
pencil.
TV studio here.
It's
dude.
amazing.
If we'd had this 30 years ago, it would have cost like $250,000.
Absolutely. It's the reinvention of the pencil, and it puts the power
It
into
cost
so many
as
people's
much as a
hands.
pencil. What we
I guess
have
my
now.
point about being a theater artist is when you're in a theater and you're creating theater,
Yeah.
then you are a theater artist. That doesn't negate that you're also
Yeah,
a musician
sure.
or whatever. But doing theater, in that live situation, is just different
Yeah,
from
sure.
this.
Absolutely.
And so my point was it's just never going to go away. And yes, Andrew, you did a damn fine job at the Theater Sports
Yeah, hey.
World Cup
You
back
did.
in the day.
1992.
Yeah. And, you know, there's always been these attempts. You know, I had that big project that I did with Stu with the iPhones and the stuff.
Oh, some of that stuff worked out pretty well. Actually.
Yeah. It's just, Enough of that bullshit.
You were ahead of your time. Shall we
was.
move on to topic number the one?
Yeah, because It Should Be About Something comes to you in 3 parts, and this is chapter 1.
Chapter 1,
On
part 2.
On sports, part
bowling.
2, bowling, and why.
Okay, you really have to tell me why, because this was your crazy idea.
Was this my crazy
This
idea?
was definitely your crazy idea.
So, all right, I'm going to start it like this. I have been bowling a lot in my life. In New England, where I grew up, the big thing was candlepin bowling. It wasn't candlepin bowling. It wasn't like those bowling pins like that sort of bodily shape that you normally have. These looked like candles, and they were flat, and you didn't have a big
flat.
ball. Well, they weren't flat, but they were narrow and round
Right,
and sort of phallic like this.
Yeah.
And you didn't have one big ball where you stuck your 3 fingers inside. You had little balls that you held in your hand. And so I guess in some ways it's similar to the Austrian kind of
Yes,
kegel.
the Kegelbahn that are in some cellars, yeah.
But it was an American version of that. And I don't know the history of bowling. I just know that New England, that was fairly prevalent. And in the rest of the country, it wasn't very prevalent. So that's how I started bowling.
New England bowling.
Yes. That's how I started bowling. And then, you know.
How old were you?
Oh, you know, I can't remember. There was a place that was
13,
called.
12?
Yeah. 13, 12. I mean, maybe when I was a kid, there was a place
Kind of
near my.
mini golf age.
Yeah. There was a place near my grandma's house. It was called the Bowlerama.
Yeah, of course it was.
The Bowlerama.
But it was
And
called the
amazing.
Golfarama as well. It was called the mini Golfarama.
And it was always amazing because it was just an event, you know. The bowling alley had, you got shoes, and they had that cool
That
spray.
other people had had on before.
Yeah, but when you're a kid, you don't think about
Oh,
that.
yeah, I did. I thought about that
Okay.
all the time.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I just thought, these shoes are funky. Someday I'm going to wear them as a high school kid and be like, I'm so cool because I stole bowling shoes.
It's like,
No, I
these
never did that.
shoes are funky, and they're funky because of all the funky people wearing them.
And then as I got older, bowling became like that thing that you do when you go on dates. And slowly, after many times, and now with my age, being able to look back over many experiences, collating them all together and analyzing them, I have realized that bowling, for me, is a terrible fucking sport. I never want to play it again, not even in any social situation, because even for social situations, I hate it.
I'm totally with you on this. This is how I feel about bowling, but it's particularly how I feel about pool.
Pool is very much like bowling, and it's very
this
much
is Uncle Jim's rant.
this. Okay. Pooling, bowling, pool, and darts. I love darts. When I was a kid, I played darts. In fact, I was very
We're talking
good
like
at
12,
darts.
13 here.
No, I'm talking like up until about my 20s, into my 20s.
Oh, right, that kind of
when I
kid.
was like from the time I was like 6, 7, 8 into my 20s. I was really good at darts. I played them all the time.
It's like what Verena was saying. Boys reach maturity at age 7 and they just get bigger.
Yeah. And I was really good at it. But I don't want to ever, I mean, I'll play darts, sure. And darts is the least of these 3. But bowling and pool, definitely, they seem like social sports. But you're always there by yourself. And then because of the way everyone's taking turns, you end up in some weird cycle where you're always talking to the same person. And that just barely, depending on how many people are there. And you got to keep going.
It's a ridiculous game.
It drives me crazy.
It's a ridiculous game.
And then you go to disco bowling, and I've had some great
Disco bowling?
I've had some great experiences at disco bowling. I went to a disco bowling place up in Montreal, Canada one time, and they had the bowling lanes open on the left side, and the last 3 lanes were closed because those were for a private party. There you had people bowling, and you had a bunch of drag queens in cages dancing above the lanes. queens, and there's disco music playing, and a couple of other drag queens that would go and hand set up the pins. It was like this whole thing. Then the other place was bowling, and the rest of it was a disco. It was
kind of reminds me of
amazing.
that disco we went to in Sofia in Bulgaria.
Oh my God. Oh my God. We have to make that,
That was
a chapter.
way cooler, though.
That's a
That was
chapter.
way cooler. Yeah.
We'll tell the Sofia story.
Yeah, mafia bars you've been to.
God,
or something like that.
But I'm saying people dress up bowling. They make it cool. They play great music. I went to a place in Seattle. We went bowling or playing pool in Seattle. Andrew will be able to remember. We went to a great pool hall, but it's loud. It's crazy. You only get to talk to a couple of people, and then you don't get to mix.
Yeah. I was locked away in northern Italy for a week in this town that closed down for the winter.
Yeah.
And there was nobody there. All the hotels were closed. I had a room in a hotel that was closed, and that only opened that one room for me. And I couldn't have breakfast in the hotel. I got a voucher that I could take down to the local cafe, and I got a cup of coffee and like a Twinkie. That was breakfast. That was my breakfast voucher, right? And there was fuck all to do in this place besides go down to that bar and play pool.
Right.
And I did that for a week, and then I decided this is a game for idiots, and I'm never playing it again. I'm never fucking playing this shitty game again. And that was pretty close to 20 years ago, and I haven't played that shitty game again. I went bowling with you and Crazy. He played Santa with us.
Rod.
I went bowling with you and Rod Benzev a couple of years ago.
Rod Benzev, shout out to Rod.
Because Rod was on Tinder and he picked up this girl who wanted to go bowling.
Oh, right. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Jeez. Yeah.
And then Rod had already left, and then she came and hung out with us a couple of times actually. She came to Drachengasse for a show or two.
Yeah. Thank you, Andrew, by the by, for the Wikipedia ground control. Andrew's always awesome at that. And
Full contact bowling, I'm totally for that. It's like, show how much you hate the sport and the other competitors.
Now,
combatants.
Kickon, which in North America is called foosball, was popular in the United States for about 20 minutes sometime during the mid-70s. And then it would just show up. And it's always like a regional thing. You know, it's like, there's a bunch of guys. I'm sure I'm talking out my ass now. It just seems to me in my cultural experience that...
Oh, are we talking this?
Foosball, yeah, kick on, which was never really big in my experience in America, except in the 70s. I remember, I think there was with Mark Hamill. I want to believe that there is a Mark Hamill movie.
guy
Luke
from Star Wars?
Skywalker himself. There was a Mark Hamill movie where he plays like a hot shot foosball player, and
It's called foosball.
in America they called it foosball.
F-U-Z?
Yeah, like foosball.
Yeah,
but,
foosball.
yeah, but they called it foosball.
Wow, okay.
Maybe there's some ground control out there. Yeah, in any case,
It's called Wurzeln. I didn't know what Kickern is. It's called Wurzeln.
Kickern
here.
is very German.
It's called Wurzeln in Austria.
Yeah,
Like, I didn't know what Wurzeln was before I came here, and it was big.
Did they have...
Like, I had to learn to Wurzel.
yeah, did they have that in South Africa?
No.
I think it's really big in the German-speaking world.
Yeah, it is. My brother and I had a Wurzeltisch, which my gran gave us for Christmas one year. It was like a half-sized Wurzeltisch.
Yeah.
And we used to play that quite a lot.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I have had some great experiences. I would kill again. If I'm sitting with somebody in a great big house and they've got a billiard table, you know, I'll sit there and I'll play billiards with
Tech
somebody.
companies and lunchrooms. Yeah, that's where you can play
Foosball.
yeah.
Or even if you go down to a cellar and somebody's got a bumper pool table.
Well,
Damn, I
okay,
love bumper pool. That was super
I
fun.
think there's a big difference between pool tables
Yeah.
and snooker tables.
Yes. And bumper pool.
There's a whole different game.
And it's
It
also
doesn't
about the
have that.
setting.
It doesn't have that. Yes, exactly. It's about the setting. It's about where you do it, and who else is playing,
Yeah.
and how you're playing.
Yeah, sure.
A lot of the time, going out to play pool is just an excuse to get smashed.
Yeah, or laid.
Leave us a note in the chat if you've ever got laid after a pool game.
Or bowling.
Or bowling.
Pavlov's dog. Yeah, that community episode is terrific where they take off their clothes the whole time. It's great. Phase, yeah. We've got...
But I love air hockey.
Air hockey was super
Air
fun.
hockey is my
Ghetto hockey
favorite.
is what we called it back in the 80s. That's probably a terribly racist term now. But I think Richard Pryor called it ghetto hockey in a movie, and
then
that's
it's not
why we
racist.
called it that.
If he said
Yo,
it,
I'm
you
the
can
king
say
of ghetto hockey. What movie is that from? The Toy, which was a terribly racist movie. No, it wasn't. It
I haven't seen
pointed
that.
out racism. It was a great movie, though. Maybe not.
Whenever I'm in Croatia or Italy,
Yeah.
I like to go to one of those arcades and play air hockey. I think it's a fantastic game.
Air hockey is great. The last time I played air hockey, I was on an island somewhere. I think maybe Mallorca. Did we play together? Do you remember we took like a little day trip and we found that outdoor
That's
cafe
right.
bar?
That's right.
And we played air
playing
hockey.
outdoor air hockey. Yeah.
And we were playing air hockey.
It's kind of like
outside,
under a tent kind of thing.
under a thing, but it was very lufty-koos, and there was palm trees and exotic flowers,
Yeah.
and we're playing air hockey.
In fact, I remember we went to have cocktails.
Yeah.
So we went to this cocktail place
Yeah.
first, got nice and toasted, and then made a nuisance of ourselves.
Playing air hockey
at
the whole
air
time.
hockey tables.
It was great.
Yeah.
But for me, because like air hockey was always going down to the Hampton to Hampton Beach in New Hampshire, where you had the long strip and there was arcades. And when we were teenagers, that would be an amazing time. And then play air hockey. And in wintertime, there would be like one arcade open, and you'd go down, and it would be cold, but you'd be playing air hockey.
So what about ice skating? Where does ice skating feature in this?
That's
I think
a
ice
whole
skating
different
is
thing. That's a
ice
whole
skating is
nother
that
thing.
same kind of. It's like bowling because you go in, you trade your shoes for somebody
Yes.
else's shoes.
Yes. Okay. Keep going.
And they're awkward to walk in.
Yes.
And they only work on the surface that they're designed for.
And depending on who's in the group and what their level
go
of
there to
ice
get
skating,
laid.
you go there to get laid. But like if you're hanging around, like in Vienna, in wintertime, normally in the before times, they would put up this beautiful skating experience in front of the town hall, the
It's still there.
Rathaus.
It's there. You can actually go.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
didn't know.
it is.
Yeah, thank God for lockdown. I'm so glad that I can't do my theater with people in the room, but we can all
It's
go.
outdoors.
I know it
It is
is. I'm
outdoors.
just being an asshole. In any case, they put this beautiful thing out there, and it's gorgeous. But if you go there and there are people in your group with different levels of experience, and you're trying to get around, but you can't because not everybody. Oh God, you get.
Yes, I have my own skates, Andrew. I do. I have my own skates these days. I don't skate in other people's skates. But
Sorry, that made me laugh.
I did a cool thing. I got skates that go on my rollerblades. So I only have one pair of boots, but two pairs of things that go on them.
My grandmother, when she was alive, and rollerblades came out, I remember her just looking at me going, Jimmy, those aren't new. Those aren't new. My father made us roller skates.
You've told me the
out
story
of
before.
two double-bladed ice skates when he drilled the holes and he put those aren't new. Oh, Grandma.
Your grandfather should have made a fortune out of that.
That was my grandma.
Grandma.
And my great-grandfather then.
Great-grandfather.
Yeah, he should have made a fortune out of
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something went wrong there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Irish in America. They were more concerned with making babies than making money.
Michael's been on this whole thing. It's just this weird like
Yeah,
Protestant
no,
Englishman
no.
in him. You have to put on the accent if you're going to start
Okay.
yelling about the Irish and
North
the Catholics,
America-
the Catholics from wherever they are.
North America was populated by the Catholics, be they Polish, Italian, or Irish. That's all those people can do is populate places. 2 of them came in, 50 of them that were there a week later.
Is there any sport you guys like? Yes. Verena, wave to the screen. Everybody wave to Verena. Verena, there is a sport that I really love. There's 2 of them, and I love them a lot. One is beach volleyball. I love beach volleyball. You can have a bunch of people there. You can play it, 2-on-2 or 4-on-4 or 6-on-6. There's communication. Everybody's hanging out. It's warm.
Ladies are in bikinis usually.
People are in bikinis. There's drinks. It's great.
He said people. You heard that. You heard that he said people. But I've never seen you wear a bikini, Jim. Never.
Are you sure?
No.
Huh.
No.
Well, we've got some plans now.
No, we don't.
The homoeroticism is growing
beach
as we
volleyball,
speak.
yeah.
Beach volleyball is great. I love
What about ultimate frisbee?
frisbee.
Yeah.
Just to go out to a park, because frisbee is, you can get up and do it, you can sit it down, you can play it as a team sport, but you're
Well,
outside.
just frisbee's a little bit boring. I do like ultimate frisbee.
But I've had some many nice times of just tossing the frisbee back and forth and having a great conversation, laughing about running. You don't have to be ambitious.
Laughing while
about
you run into trees trying to catch the frisbee.
You don't have to be ambitious about it.
Yeah.
But you're not forced to only. I hate that.
Right.
No sports with.
Are we done with this topic?
Mini golf can be fun.
No, it can't. No, it can't.
You don't think? Oh, okay. Let's get into mini golf real quick. What's wrong with mini golf?
You cannot swing at the ball in mini golf.
Yeah. Okay, you're a
can't.
regular golfer. I know
Can't.
you are.
But no. Even before I started regular golfing, I was like, man, I want to whack that fucking ball. I don't want to putt that shitter.
Well, you can.
Sure you can.
They'll just kick you out.
I got
of the
kicked
mini
out.
golf. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. But mini golf is actually a kind of fun way to hang out because everybody is around. You're not necessarily alone. Everybody can stand there and watch it and walk, and it's more communicative. The bigger it is, and if you're alone just with one other person, it's a low pressure fun thing to do. And if you go to a good mini golf course, they're really cute and
Find
fun.
a good mini golf course. They're all crap. They're all leftovers from the 60s, like that motel that I stayed in Idaho that said new rooms, clean and fresh. Yes, they were clean and fresh in 1962 when they built that place. Okay, good.
I think we did it.
Yeah, put a sock in it.
Yeah. So to answer the question, bowling part 2. I mean sports part 2
part
on
2.
bowling and why? Why?
Why? Yes, why?
Why?
Yeah, it doesn't qualify.
No.
Here we go.
Chapter 2.
So the most annoying noise.
On the most annoying noise.
I think the most annoying noise always depends on the situation. And
tonight's show is sponsored by vodka. We've done a few sober
it's
shows.
sponsored by you guys.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
The vodka is sponsored by you.
That's true. We've done a few sober shows, but
It
Michael's...
wouldn't be fun.
Wow. On the most annoying noise. So let's just put this out there right away to all y'alls. Type into the chat, what is for you the most annoying noise?
Yeah, and let's not forget the Slurpy Slurps.
Oh yeah.
I think we should do Slurpy Slurps first.
All right, let's get some Slurpy Slurps.
Slurpy Slurps, guys.
Slurp slurp.
Cheers.
So Michael.
Okay, so I'm going to stick with the religious twist I was on earlier.
Okay.
And say that one of the most annoying noises to me is church bells.
Wow. Okay.
Because those guys have the annoying double standard of saying Sunday is the day you got to be quiet.
Yeah.
Because we're having our praying to the sky fairy thing, but they are allowed to wake you up at 6 o'clock in the morning with the bang 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 bang. I can't. I live like 100. No, I live less than 100 meters from a church tower.
Yeah.
And I can't sleep with my window open in summer because those fuckers wake me up on Sundays.
Yeah.
It's like I'm upright in bed. Sunday is 6:30, 6:45 or something like that.
You know, I hear you. I hear you totally. The thing is,
3 non-blonde songs. Philly girl, I love your take on the most annoying noise. That's perfect. God, I was nowhere near that, but
I love it. I love it that she insults them by calling them 3 instead of 4, which is what they were.
No, it's 3 of the 4 non-blonde songs. It's the 3 songs that
just
they had.
Three 4 non-blonde songs. Okay, the thing about church bells, right, which I find fascinating, is that it always reminds me, whenever I hear a church bell, that we used to tell time by sound, right? The church bells were super important because it helped to keep everybody on the same page as to when.
I think that
when
was a
shit
secondary thing. That was a secondary thing. That was like the benefit that society had from religion imposing upon it.
Okay.
That we kind of knew what time it was at any time of the day.
Well, yeah, religion imposing upon it. I mean, when the bells were coming out, it wasn't like, yeah.
They didn't invent the bells to tell us time. They invented the bells to say it's time to go to church.
No, but that does not negate my point that
No, but I'm saying
time
that's
got told over sound.
But that's secondary.
Sure.
Right?
To the point of the bells, whatever. My point is, I think it's fascinating that we used to tell time by sound, and nowadays we don't. And so that's one of the reasons why it becomes super annoying. Before I go any further, though, because I love this, Marcus said the most annoying noise is his neighbor's intimacy.
But wait for it. Intimacy.
Yeah. And then Verena said, it's a drill hammer at 7 a.m. next to my bedroom. I wonder if Marcus and Verena live next to each other.
So actually, guys, I have this theory.
Yeah.
Because drill hammers always start at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I've always wondered, what the fuck is that about? Because, so your neighbor's renovating and he's got the workers in. And they come in and the first thing they do is turn on that drill hammer. The second it turns 7 o'clock, it's brrr, and everybody's awake. Why can't they do that later in the day?
I'll tell you why. Because they all went to the same school.
They want to fuck with you. That's why.
They totally want to fuck with you. And they learn to do it. It's like when mechanics, they all go to the same school because as soon as they pull up the hood, they look in it and they all make the same noise. And that noise means whatever is happening is going to be fucking expensive. And then the computer guys, they went to the same school and they pull it up and they go, and it's going to be expensive.
You remember we were talking a couple
By the way,
years about...
I hit my shoulder last night.
I shouldn't touch you there?
Right there,
like
because
there?
of that thing backstage, the
right there?
Yeah, there's the squirty squirt backstage for the hand sanitation.
Did you break it?
I didn't break it, but it broke my shoulder. It's
so
like,
I won't touch you where?
Yeah, right there. It's dang.
You remember a couple of years ago we were talking about the concept of things that are broken.
Yes.
Like in our society, for instance, checkout counters in most shopping, in most supermarkets are broken because you have nowhere to put the things that you've bought. They've kind of saved on those.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of grab all your stuff and get it back into your cart as quickly as you can. Like 25 years ago, there would be space where your stuff would be collected and there'd be that bar that they'd lay across and the other person's stuff would go in that and you could have time to gather all your shopping.
Yeah.
And they just did away with that. And now you have to kind of grab your stuff out and pay at the same time. And the cashier is fully automated because she doesn't have to type in anymore. It's like boop, 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 boop. So they're way quicker than you are.
Yeah.
So you're paying and you're doing this and then they have to wait for you.
Yeah.
Because you're not finished putting your stuff away.
Yeah.
And the next person's stuff's getting on top of yours and stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, my workaround for that is I only pay when I put all my stuff back in my cart.
Yeah.
No matter how many times she says it's 45.60.
Yeah.
But that's a system that's broken.
It's totally broken.
And this system of making noise in the mornings when you're in construction work is a system that's broken as well. Because our system should be, how do we make life as pleasant as possible?
But
so we want to do the quiet stuff in the morning and the drilling at midday when we're actually supposed to be quiet according to our laws here. Like between midday and 1 is Mittagsruhe. You're not allowed to drill, which is ridiculous.
But it's ridiculous. But I had a Immobilien guy, buddy of mine, tell me that it's it's regular practice that if a company goes in to renovate a floor in a building, that very often they will pour the cement, let it set, then jackhammer it out and repeat that process for as long as possible, trying to make it as loud as possible so that other people will be like, fuck this, I got to get out. And it's a total strategy that they use.
I see. Right.
To auszuekeln.
But that's not what's happening like in Pavlov's house.
Well, Kathy's house, Kathy was like the worst noise that she knows is the people upstairs drilling while she naps. I wonder if Verena, Marcos, and Kathy all live in the same place because it's the neighbors who are drilling. And
I've been to Kathy's place.
I know you have. It's just a joke. Because they're all talking.
You need more budget for your jokes.
Talking about drilling. Haha. In any case,
I feel that's hammering. We need more budget for our jokes.
So the alarm clock waking up.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to get onto that. Some places still have that thing. Yes, I had that experience the other day because the biller next door here.
Oh, they've got
has
the
that thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So a couple of weeks ago, I'm buying some groceries, and I used the bar. So there's that big catchment area.
Yeah.
And the cashier put my things in there, and I moved them right to the bottom, and I moved the bar across, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm moving the." She was a young woman, right?
Yeah.
And I moved the bar across, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm moving the bar across so you can put the next chopper's stuff there." And she's like,
mind blown.
because nobody had told her that that's what it might be there for.
Yeah. The vestigial organ of customer service.
The vestigial organ.
Thanks.
Vestigial organ. Sounds a little bit gross.
Yeah.
But I like it.
It's not gross.
Yes. As soon as you get out of bed, as soon as you decide, okay, fuck it. After the third time, they've gone, okay, they're going to stop. As soon as you get up, they stop.
Yeah, because they all went to the same school to know that this is enough drilling.
They can hear the pitter-patter.
And then they hear you wake up, and they know you can't get back to sleep now.
Yeah.
And that's when they stop, have breakfast, and then start their day.
Yeah, well, but you know, okay, so there is something to...
it's all about capitalism.
To working in construction.
Yeah.
So they start really early in the morning, and then the first break they have is like 9:30 or 10.
Yeah, because they start early in the morning because that's when they get paid by the hour, and that's when they have to start. And so they have to work for a little bit to get it going.
And have to start with daybreak kind of thing.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. They have to start.
Yeah.
It's all about capitalism. It's all about pushing. It's the same reason why those cashiers in freaking Hofer and Aldi are going doom, 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 because they get rated on how many products they can get through the beeper as possible. That's why they're going faster than you, because they don't care. As soon as their shit is done, and in fact, they want you to go faster because the more they can do within an hour.
I will not let them make me go faster. I will not do it.
Yeah,
I resist.
Because the whole system isn't there to serve
broken.
you. The system is there to serve somebody else, and that's why we perceive it as broken. It's the
It
same.
is broken.
Well, okay. I put it to you that
I am the customer.
Yes.
I'm king.
yes,
it is
it's broken. It's broken. But for somebody else, one man's broken is another man's doing exactly what I want it to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
So, like the movies, when we used to be able to go to the movies, Andrew will be able to ground control me on this, but
Andrew's saying there's a finite number of holes that can be made. Yes, take it to another level, Andrew. Let's be meta on this.
It sounds like it's like a line that got cut from a Beatles' "A Day in the Life."
Oh yes, yeah. Dragged a comb across my head.
No, but now they know how many holes can fill, or whatever. Any case, what the fuck was you? Man, you totally missed my shit. Whatever. Finite holes, exactly how it sounds. No idea what I was talking about. The movies. There used to be a time when we could go to the movies. And maybe Andrew can ground control this, but I do believe it's somewhere around 70 to 80% of the profits that a movie theater makes is made from the concession.
Yes.
And yet, they have to keep their overhead down, and so they don't hire enough people to run the concession.
Yeah.
And so, whenever you go to the movie theater, you've got
always
a
waiting in
freaking
line.
line.
Yeah.
And that is a system.
Like there's never lines at the tickets. There's
That's
always
a-
lines at the concession
It's a
stand.
system that is
Yeah.
broken.
But, fuck them. I can't remember the last time I paid for a beer in the movies because those guys overcharge you and they have crap beer. I mean, charging more for a takeaway cup of beer in the movies than the pizza joint around the corner charges for a takeaway beer. Fuck you guys! I'm smuggling my beer cans in there and fuck you guys.
I've had some of the nicest experiences in a movie theater sneaking shit in. And it's one of those things that in society, I think we've all kind of decided that you have to sneak the shit in, although bringing shit in is no problem and no one is ever going to have a problem with you. But I love the fact that
No, they
there's
will.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I've never had anybody been
But
like,
has anybody seen you like opening a can of drink or food that you brought in yourself that you didn't buy at the concession stand?
Sure, they must have, because I have snuck a lot of schnizzle in.
You've schnuck a schnot a schnizzle.
I've snuck a lot of schnizzle
A
in.
man who schnucks a lot of schnizzle.
I sneak the snacks.
Schnuck a schnot a schnizzle.
I'll sneak a snack like nobody's business.
Yeah.
AMC reported that 71% of their profits were from concessions in 2019.
Yeah.
71%.
Right.
Get your shit together, AMC.
Well, I don't mind 71% of their profits being from concessions, but why do they have to overcharge me? That's what pisses me off.
Yeah, I know.
That's what pisses me off about you go to a stadium, you go to a concert, and it's light beer, and it's not half a liter, it's only 400, and it's 13 euros a pop.
And again, I say to you, it's a capitalism thing. It's a corporatism thing. AMC, all those big
course it
stadiums,
is.
they're huge things. You go to those small little movie theaters, and they might overcharge you, but usually it's fine. But the service is nicer, and I want to support those places because they're usually places that really have a vision or trying to do something. Going to the movies on 10 Exchange when I was a kid when I was a teenager, the fact that existed
Yeah, okay,
changed my life.
Yeah, but I don't think we need a both sides of this story depiction here because
No.
because 99% of the side is the crap side.
Of
Because,
the corporatism.
because you most of the time you just get taken for a ride. Yes, there are those little mom and pop shops,
Yeah.
and we want to support them. They're great, but usually you're just getting shafted.
Well, because it's of the corporatism. Yeah, it's not. I'm not trying to do a both sides. I'm just trying to show the difference between the taking for a ride, which is generally from these capitalistic, corporatism things, as opposed to that. And as for ticket sales, thank you again, Mr. Perkins. Theaters generally don't take more than 45% of the revenue, right? Because 55% of it is being distributed among the distributors and the producers and the blah 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 blah. And so it's
Middlemen.
It's really hard to make money
Motherfucker.
on that stuff. It's really hard to keep people coming to a theater.
I watched a great video yesterday on YouTube, and I wish I could remember. It was David Cross. Do you know David Cross? He used to be an actor sometimes.
Oh yeah. Mr. Show was a huge influence on everybody.
And he's got this thing.
Arrested
I think it's
Development.
The Gravel on YouTube.
I saw that. Yes. Why America Sucks. It's a
Why
really
America
nice,
Sucks.
Yeah, from the Gravel Institute.
It's there's a lot of things but the one thing that really resonated with me was
corporatism, capitalism, making things bad for people.
Oh, the middleman.
Yeah.
The United States has made made it law that you cannot do anything without going through several middlemen, right? And that's why things are so enormously expensive.
Yeah, because it's kind of,
Yeah, the middleman. The middleman needs to skim some cream off the top. Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly.
So we've been going here now for.
So I think we've decided the most annoying noise is
your neighbor's building shit.
Is anybody outside of your realm making any noise interrupting your shit? Be it intimate, drilling, pounding,
This is not
screwing, or any type of orgasmic.
I don't think I've ever been bugged by the loud neighbors fucking.
Yeah, but I'm talking about what these people have said,
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah, no, I know.
And we're trying to wrap this shit up.
This is my show,
Okay,
and I get to say what I want.
do it, man.
You know, these people are just writing in the comments.
Yeah, these guys, the people that are
These
here
guys.
for us.
I've always found the naked or orally available neighbors entertaining.
You sure, man? But
They don't bug me at all.
it
actually.
depends. Yeah. I know. But you know, somebody like Marcus, he's suffering in silence because, as we all learned about in our chapter on naked neighbors, you got to let those people do their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you all. We are now going to hear from a word to our sponsors.
Oh, we're back.
Yeah, we are.
Yay! Wasn't that guy a happy guy? Yes! Sitting in front of his laptop. He was a happy chappy. Vodka makes everything better, people.
My goodness.
So, I don't know. Do you want to go on to chapter 3 right away, or
I think we should.
We've got an interlude.
You know,
Like, well, let's see what's going on here. They
Yes.
still wake me up at 2:30. The naked neighbors. 2:30's kind of pushing it. Yeah. Okay. Maybe leave a dead cat. Leave a dead cat.
Wow.
And some dog turds in front of their door. Ticket sales, AMC. Verena Müller says Hofer has literally no space to put the stuff. Yes. And now with COVID, you've got that screen, and if they don't push your stuff far enough past the beeper, you have to do this to get your things.
it's time.
It's time? Okay, good. Right.
And now we're moving on to chapter
3.
Chapter 3.
Would you ever
On
do
being
this
a
again?
best man.
How many times have you done this?
How many times have I been a best man? I've been a best man a number of times. Quite a number of times. I would have to go back and think about it.
Really?
I've been a best man a
He's
number
so
of times.
popular. Oh.
Yeah, but see,
he's so popular for you.
I'm just, but yeah, my joke is always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Yeah, yep. But I've been a best man a number of times.
I've been a best man once.
Kulturbach, in the house.
Hey, nice.
Nope, you're not too late for part 3.
We're starting part 3 as we speak.
That's right.
Part 3 is on being a best man.
On being a best man.
So I have organized. So basically, if you're a best man, you more or less end up organizing the wedding.
No, that has not been my experience.
Okay.
In my experience, the organizing of the wedding itself is either taken over by the couple with varying degrees of balance in that endeavor, or it has been shifted to somebody else, but usually somebody, it hasn't been the fella.
Right.
But
So
I've been
bridesmaids.
but I've been a best man for both genders. I've been a best man for several men, and I've been the best man for one woman.
Right. And you didn't have extra duties.
Oh, I had plenty of extra duties, but they didn't have to do with the planning of the wedding.
Right,
It was always more ancillary things, you know, the side things, the Brautstehlen, stealing of the bride, or the stag night, or the something happening at the rehearsal dinner, because there's just so many different traditions and from so many different cultures, and there's always something fun there. Yeah, but it's never really been about the wedding itself.
Zelina wants to know how many of the couples that you've been a bridesmaid for are still married. Oh, it's been
All of them.
It's been many.
I'm trying to go through it. I'm gonna miss one.
No, you got to think of like who of your friends are divorced.
I don't have many divorced friends. Do I have any divorced friends? I've got plenty. I must have divorced friends. Sure, I've got divorced friends, but none of them where I was responsible in any way.
Okay, good.
I got 100% record, peoples. Recommended. I'm great at weddings.
Yeah.
And I love them.
Hire this guy. Would you do it again?
I would definitely do it again.
Like-
In
like
fact,
if
I'm
you were
supposed
asked-
to do it again.
You are?
Yeah,
Really?
because
Okay.
Jacob, who was Jacob Bannigan, the wonderful English lover. And it's the reason why I'm dressed like that, because Jacob and I have a duo called Rocket Sugar Factory, and we did a gig just before this show, right here in this studio. It was awesome. Michael produced, Belush played music. It was great. Jacob asked me to be his best man. But they've had to
Is
push.
that going to happen
Yeah,
anytime?
well, they've had to push off the wedding several times now because of the
Lily's going to
pandemic.
get married before those guys get
I
married.
bet. I'm sure. But I was your best man,
You were mine, yes.
one of your best men, and Belush, I was one of his best men.
Mm-hmm.
So from the English lovers, and I was David Ruawa's best man.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
I was David Ruawa's best man, and
So you've seen off anybody who could get married
Yeah.
from the English lovers besides yourself.
Yeah, Dennis and Anne were already married.
Yeah. They've
so
been married forever.
They've been married forever, and I just haven't done it yet. So I'm going to get all the y'alls. I'm going to get all y'alls. All y'alls are going to be. I'm going to have the best men.
Well,
The best men.
I've actually got to the point where I'm kind of cringy about weddings in general.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because usually these days, like when I got married, it was one night out on the town was the stag night, and the wedding was one day. It's like a wedding in the afternoon and then a kind of party at night. But these days, when people get married, it's like you've got to go somewhere out of town or another country for the fucking stag night, weekend, and then the wedding's another fucking weekend.
Yeah.
So that's like, damn it, what the fuck?
Well, that's a whole thing. So let's remember, our chapter is about on being a best man.
Yes.
So
and
let's-
that's exactly what I was talking about.
let's bring it back.
Yeah,
Let's
okay,
bring
so,
it back.
So I'm bringing it back. So actually,
yes.
because I have arranged, I've also been a best man, and I ended up arranging a huge amount of stuff.
Oh shit. See, that was your first mistake.
It was a lot of stuff to organize, especially because a lot of the other people who were involved in organizing it were nincompoops, and I had to pick up the slack. You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you. It's one of the reasons that Jim and Michael work hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. No, it's not that the English lovers are nincompoops, but
So there's that, and these days, like when friends of mine say, "Oh yeah, I've proposed and I'm getting married," I'm like, "Don't ask me to be your best man, please don't ask me."
So is this just like a subtle
I don't want to
message?
It's like a
Is this a subtle
like
message
mantra
that I
that
should be? Should I be writing this down somewhere? A little note.
Well, you're not going to get married. You're going to be a bridesmaid forever.
Oh damn it.
I don't know. It really has become not only as a best man, but also just as a normal a wedding goer.
Yeah.
Become a huge amount of effort that gets put into somebody else's wedding.
I hear you. Destination weddings are and can be a pain in the tits.
Totally.
That said, one of the best, most wonderful experiences of a destination wedding I ever had was for Mr. Perkins' wedding.
Were you best man for Mr. Perkins' wedding?
No.
There, you see.
But I was there
You
for
see?
him, and it was a beautiful time to be there, and it was one of the most magical weddings
but
just because it was just all coming together.
But
And
I think a lot of things.
thank you very much again for that.
I think
It
a lot
was
of things
wonderful.
came together for you there. Like, because you kind of made a holiday of that as well.
Oh, hell yeah.
You got to go home to
Hell
the States
yeah.
and stuff. So there was a lot of things that kind of got tied into that.
It was
right?
always a dream of mine to go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
It was better than anything
if
ever.
If I got invited to a wedding in Hawaii, then I'd want to make a holiday of it as well.
Yeah.
But it's also like, if somebody gets married in June and that's inopportune for me and I need to go to Rimini for a weekend for that, I'm like,
Right. Okay.
not really that into it.
Well, thank you for having me, buddy. It was really just, I would love to make that a chapter. I could talk forever about how just beautiful that was. In any case, let's bring it back to our chapter, because it's about being a best man and not just about weddings and how much you hate
sure.
going to
No.
weddings.
Yeah.
So, what would be, a buddy comes up to you and says, listen, man, I've been asked to be the best man.
Mm-hmm.
I need some advice.
Yeah.
What's your top three?
Okay.
So it's not so precious. What are three things you should
Absolutely.
remember about being
I've
a?
got three things.
Hit me.
First of all, make it absolutely clear what you're in charge of and what not.
Boom. Number two.
Don't travel with drugs.
Only do one illegal thing at a time.
And if your buddy says no strippers, get strippers.
Okay. Wow. That explains a lot. I hear you. I'm going to go with three. I'm going to say. No, I'm going to go with all those security protocols as well. Only do one illegal thing at a time. I don't sign on for a lot of stuff. If your buddy says no strippers, don't get strippers. But go somewhere really close so that when he's drunk enough, you can go and see strippers if you want. That's the only way I would amend that. Now,
Well,
as for response,
to be fair,
yes,
he said don't get a stripper, so I got two.
that was a really fun night.
It was.
And
See?
one of those ladies is still a friend. I actually talked to her not too long ago. But I would like to amend mine because the biggest thing, the most public part of it, and going beyond just being the friend for your friend, being there, supporting them, just being available, having a sort of laid-back gelassene Bereitschaft so that you can get shit done for that person. Beyond that, the most public part is the speech.
Yeah.
Because if you're a best man, you're going to have to do the speech.
Yeah.
I was once a best man for somebody, and it was this thing where they had a wedding planner,
Mm-hmm.
and there was this whole thing, and she had told me the whole thing, and part of it was, okay, there was going to be a speech from this dad, and there's going to be a speech from this dad, and there's going to be a speech from his thing, but there was no speech from me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's totally cool. Until the night before, and she was like, oh yeah, by the way, you need a speech. And I had to come up with a speech.
That sucks.
It was awful, but it was a really good speech. It ended up being a good speech.
Yeah, I think you do actually give pretty good speeches. Like I've heard several of yours. One of them was at my wedding, and I was well satisfied with the entertainment.
I don't remember my speech. What did I do? There was a speech for you. What did we do?
I can't remember the specifics, but you said something about
Where were we? Oh, we were in the thing. Oh my God, that was beautiful. We were in this old villa that Michael and Christina got married in St. Peter's Church, which is in the middle of Vienna, and it is a gorgeous old church, and we were all out back. Dennis sang.
I can tell you the story how we ended up in that church.
Oh my goodness, you got to save that. That's going to be a part two.
Okay.
But because we're still in the best man.
Weddings part two.
They organized public Viennese buses that took us from the first district out to this beautiful, beautiful villa in the 14th district. It was
Hammersville.
The Hammersville. And some old Nazi had been in there for a long time. It was Goering's villa for a while.
No way.
Yeah. And it was
not know this.
beautiful. Oh my gosh. And your dad. Oh my God, that was so much fun when you did the South African thing with the dance and oh my God.
Came in
so
and
much
bought
fun.
the bride.
So much fun.
He bartered for the bride, and my father-in-law was, that's not enough.
I think a big secret is when you're doing the speech, you gotta be there. You gotta wingman your dude or your lady, whichever one you're wingmaning. But then just just make sure that the woman, the man or the woman that's being married into, that they know how incredibly in love and happy that your person is with them. And then everything is cream cheese. You can be funny, you can be sappy, it doesn't matter. But I really think it's like being a good wingman as a best man. So make sure, not only to make sure everybody knows that this guy's got it going on, but that person, that this person has said yes to, is so in the family. And what a great thing it is to welcome them officially. Yeah, being a best man is great. Oh, let's all do it.
No, I'm done. I'm not doing it again.
I would love to do it.
I've ticked that box.
Anybody needs a best man, I'm there for you.
If you want to get married, you're on your own. Go to Las Vegas. I'll buy you tickets.
I don't know if we helped anybody out about being on a best man, but it was really nice to think about those moments again.
Yeah. I've never one of my panic moments of being a best man was being on the underground with an enormous amount of cash and an enormous amount of drugs at the same time. And I was thinking, what if I get stopped now?
The 1983 Cadillac Eldorado limousine.
Yeah, I could have bought that for the drugs and the cash that I had in my pocket.
That we rented to pick you up.
Oh, that was so funny.
When we had Michael Stag Night, he had it was the derniere of a play that he was doing.
Show.
And he had just finished, they were in the bows, and me and the rest of the crew came in and stole him from the Verbeugung at the last night party. And
that was
then
so funny.
We all piled into this 1983 Cadillac Eldorado.
But they stole me off the stage.
That's true.
And then the limo was like a half an hour late.
Yes.
And I got so drunk between the moment they got me off the stage and the moment they got me into the limousine. I was completely smashed.
Yeah, the limo wasn't late. It just took forever to get that boy into it. It was amazing. And yes, Andrew Bronwyn and Roland did do Vegas. And Corley and Attila did Vegas. Crazy. People who do Vegas, I would love to. Have you ever been to Vegas?
I have driven through Vegas.
Yeah. I don't know as I need to go there, but
I really don't feel like I have to.
If I did, I would definitely want to see somebody get married.
Just anybody.
I don't care who.
At my wedding.
Ow.
Oh, sorry. So we're outside the church, right? And we're having a photograph taken, and the whole wedding party's standing there. But okay, so there were tourists at our wedding sitting in the back pews, right? because the church is a tourist site, right? So there were tourists at our wedding, and then we were having the pictures taken. There were tourists joining the wedding party for the pictures. And at some point, there was this guy standing next to me in a tracksuit. And I was like, who the fuck are you? And he's like, no, I'm cool. And he's like doing this, getting his picture taken with the wedding party. And I'm like,
I saw this moment.
I'm trying to have my wedding photos taken, you dick.
I had just been standing next to Michael. We had talked very briefly about something. He turned, I walked away. This dude in the tracksuit comes up, and Michael thinks it's me. So he turns around, he's like, what the fuck were you? Fuck off.
That was so funny. And my uncle Tony was there from Canada.
Right.
And every time when we look at the photographs, Christina's like, who's that? That's a wedding crasher. That's one of those tourists.
That's Uncle Tony.
He was standing off to the side. Like that guy that wasn't part of the wedding. I'm like, that's Uncle Tony.
That's Uncle Tony. One of my favorite wedding traditions that they have in Austria is the Brautstehen.
I hate that.
I know you do, but I love it.
It's a terrible idea.
And I have done it several times. However, I will tell you, I think I'm done with it.
I don't get it.
Well, the whole idea of it is that the best man steals the bride with a group of people. And in the country, they would often jump in, and I've been on a Brautstehen in the country in Salzburg, and we all jumped into a hay wagon, and then you take off, and you go to a local pub or a Wirtshaus.
Isn't this like a medieval excuse for a gangbang before you kind of finally
I don't
tie the
know.
knot?
That's not how I was introduced to it, but put a pin in that. We might come back to that. And then you
pizza
stop.
provides 8 ways, so it's always good for a gangbang.
You always stop in these places, you have a drink, pardon me, and then you continue on. And then the idea is that when the groom realizes the bride has been stolen, he goes with his people.
When he realizes.
And he goes with his people, paying for the drinks until he catches up with the bride, and they all come back. Now, in the modern days, a lot of people don't like this because it splits up the wedding party. And the brilliant solution that we found at Michael's wedding was that we did the Brautstehlen, the stealing of the bride, and it was all there in this villa. And we found this beautiful little arched area where we set up candles and we had the drinks and we stole the bride over there. And then we could all just have like a small little intimate moment. And usually I like to try to plan it in that moment in the wedding when the older folks have gotten, it's time for them to go home and they've just gone home and the whole party has to reset anyway. And so you try to do that. But the best thing was that it was close so that if anything happened, you could just get back really quick and be there for the party. So I totally get when people are like, I'm not into it. I loved it for a long time, but I see
I'm done with it.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's a pain in the ass.
You ran blocker in the Corrado for Brautstehlen in Vorarlberg. Nice. Yeah. So but one of my favorite ones was David Roa's wedding. He and Alyssa got married in the 4th district, and then we stole Alyssa and we went to the Burggarten, and we had a bunch of Prosecco and ice and blankets, but the glasses got forgotten. So I went up to the Palmen House, where this beautiful restaurant is, and I go to the bar, and I said, excuse me, and this person came over, and it was very cool. This was very cool. They were like, oh, I know you from the English Lovers. How are you, Jim? And I was like, holy shit, that's crazy. And I was like, I'm here with David, and he just got married, and I was wondering if I could borrow some glasses? And she was like, got you.
Didn't we do a show in the Palmen House once?
We did. We've done a couple in there. Yeah. And then she comes back and gave me all these glasses. I take them out onto the grass. And then we called a pizza place and the dude came and delivered it to the Burggarten. And so as soon as the pizza came, the glasses came, everything came together, and David and the rest of the party came, and we ended up partying in the middle of the Burggarten into the night. It was magical.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Whatever.
But we were younger and wild.
Best man.
Take it seriously. Be there for that person. Welcome the other one in and be around. One thing I like to do, and it's just something I made up, I try to get in touch with Michael and Christina on their anniversary and be like, how's it going? And Michael would be like, you missed it by a day. No, this was the day that we got married in the other one, because I fuck it up. But I like to think that, at least once a year I kind of check in and give them a chance.
You have actually been very good about that.
Yeah.
You're always off by a day or two, but it's pretty good.
It's the thought that counts.
It's the thought that counts. It absolutely is.
Well, we've done it, Michael.
Have we put a sock in that?
I think we need to put a sock in it. Tomorrow...
It's 21:40. Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Tomorrow we're back in the Theater Drachengasse. We're going to be performing in Pitch Me. I'm streaming.
Let's see if I can actually put this.
If Michael can do that, he'll put the link in the chat for you all. We'd love to see you there.
Yes, I can.
Next week, Thursday, we will be doing It Should Be About Something. However, we're going to be doing it live from the Theater Drachengasse. We're going to have Michi and Matthias on the tech again. We're going to have Belush there. We might even get a bunch of the English Lovers to hang out with us. The show will not be at 8:30. The show will be at 9:30, 10:30.
Probably 10.
Somewhere between 10 and 10:15. We'll put it up on Facebook. We'll put it up wherever you need us to put it up. Go ahead and let us know.
So I'm putting the link to the Eventbrite tickets.
Oh, perfect. I don't know
chat.
what you should let us know. We're just super, super happy that you guys show up.
come and check out the show. We had Machado in the house the other day.
Machado. I tried to do a shout out to Machado because, of course, Bronwyn, the brain, says much ado. And then I was
How
like,
did you figure that out?
yeah, I don't know, but that's why I threw in that. It must be Machado.
You think I missed that?
No, I don't think
I
you missed that. I wanted to make sure that Machado heard it.
Machado isn't here tonight.
Oh, shit.
It's Moko.
Oh,
Moko's here tonight.
I would never confuse Machado with Moko. That is not a thing I would do.
Do such a thing.
Never.
Never. No. Yeah.
So next week, it should be about something. We'll be around 10:15. Keep your eyes out on the Facebooks. We'll let you know when that is. We'd love to see you there. If you get a chance to come and check out Pitch Me I'm Streaming, please do. And if anybody out there has an idea how we can introduce this to other people, because it's a super fun time, let us know. In any case, we did it. And you know what, Michael?
What?
I don't want to go out on a limb here, but I think that was the best It Should Be About Something ever.
It was the best.
It really was.
It was definitely the best.
It was definitely the best.
There was nothing wrong with that. It's best.
Not at all.
Cheers.
Can I get a? Can we
You
get
want
a
an
hug in?
Isbaz hug?
I think we need
Right,
to get
here we
a.
go.